Hello, Maurice. You're going to see me before I do my hair. Good to see you.
Hello, Larry. How are you doing?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Well, I am great. So excited for this. So
Good.
excited.
Tone it down. Tone it down.
I'm going to be standing up. That's why my camera's way up there. I can't sit and talk like this. Like, campaign speech, you got to be standing.
uh,
But yeah, I'm glad everybody had the same idea to get in here early.
well, she made it seem as if it would be important.
Yeah, I definitely did want to take the opportunity. Anyhow, I'll be back in a minute.
Sure.
Hey, Larry, who are you talking to?
Myself.
Okay. I was like, I can't hear you. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm just re-looking at stuff and reading out loud.
Gotcha. Okay.
You're muted.
Do it. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what was going on. I said the meeting was canceled.
What committee? What
But-
committee?
The meeting, this meeting. When I put on, I've been on since about 2:30 waiting, and it said the meeting was not coming, whatever I said. It said
Canceled, but I didn't.
today. You said, am I on? And I go, I'm on. It said, then it says, there's no meeting today.
Oh yeah, there is.
I know, I see you.
Oh man.
So I'm ready to start too. You got your big drink?
No, I didn't drink this time.
Oh, I was so thirsty. Well, I got up here and I've been up here about 30 minutes and the doorbell rang. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Kept going. Martin didn't get up to go get it. So I had to go downstairs and it was somebody to sing happy birthday to him.
Oh, how neat. One of your neighbors?
Now, one of our friends that lives over there off of Walsh, good Republican friend.
Okay.
Let's see who all is on. Maurice is on. Hi, Maurice.
I think he's probably not really there.
Oh,
Steve and I were talking just a minute ago. He's on, and the Coveys are on, or were. I think they still are.
I don't see them.
Huh.
What are they running for?
They're not?
Oh, they were on?
Mm-hmm.
Kristen, who are you? I see somebody named Kristen.
I'm in
Hi,
Brazos.
Kristen.
Hi.
We're from Brazos. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yep, we're all here a little early, so
Yeah. I have to remind myself. I've been on so many Zoom meetings lately. Larry could tell you I miss half of it because I forget them or I get busy and he'll go, are you coming? And I'm going, what time is it? And it's like 6. And it was at 5 or something. And I'm going, no, I got so busy. And today's my husband's birthday. So I've been really flip-flopping, doing all kinds of stuff, trying to get stuff done.
That picture.
I miss a lot more meetings than I make.
That picture, what, Larry?
That picture of the pie you made, Martin, it really looks good.
It almost is perfect. I still make my own pie crust, and I don't make just one pie. I don't know how. My mother used to make 4 and 6 at a time, so I usually make at least 3 pies. Well, this morning I was determined I wasn't making but one. Because he had so many sweets around here with the banana nut bread I'd made, and
Yeah.
people brought those cookies, and so I'm gonna make one. So I was rolling out my pie dough, and I was just really stretching it to make enough for the crust.
Do you have a light on your desk or anything? Your face
No,
is really dark.
Yeah, I know. I've got a light over here that I could plug in, but maybe I could. Let me see if I could put one of these lights in it. It's a fan light. It's a fan light. We put it over here the other day. And,
Hi, Sharon Covey. Hello, Sharon Covey. You're muted. You're muted, Sharon.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Sue.
That's a little bit better, Sue. Or did you do anything? No,
I
it's
didn't do
not.
anything.
Didn't help a whole lot. I'm trying to get a spotlight on Sue.
I've got a fan light if I can get it open.
What Sue needs to do is actually block out the other light, because what's happening is the aperture on her camera is compensating. So it's
Oh.
making her dark. So if you can shut your windows or whatever the light source on your right is,
Fan, let me see. Is that better?
there's back over. I think that light you need to leave on, but there, it looks like maybe there's a diploma on the wall or something. Do you have your windows open or what?
Over
what's
to
back
your
there
right, Sue.
You what?
Over to your right.
Uh-huh.
The window light is coming in too much.
Okay, hang on.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so leave your fan on and close your window. Your fan light on.
That means I gotta take my wine bottles out of my window.
As long as they're empty.
It's an Aggie one.
Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Judy keeps moving around. I can't keep up with her.
Well, I'm trying to get comfortable. Okay.
Are you outside?
Y'all are, yes. Y'all are really critiquing people.
Yeah.
Judy.
Forget that. I mean, remember you're running for office, so.
Well, Judy's outside looks wonderful. All right, is that better?
Actually, you can see your face better, yes.
That might be a negative. All right, is that all right? Because I closed my blinds. So I don't
Yeah.
need
You look great, Sue. You look great. Don't listen to those guys.
Thank you, Judy. I needed you.
I don't even know who's critiquing you but Larry, so.
It's Larry. What is so funny about all this, Judy? We've done Zoom so much. I've been moving lamps and lights and everything around here. And the other night, we finally got the lighting you see right now, finally got that fixed, and I haven't moved anything. I'm afraid to move it. I'll forget.
Judy, he texts me. He thinks he's on television. He texts me, how's the lighting? Does it look good?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm actually indoors, but this is my front yard. But I am indoors and I can change it. But I
got
thought
one of
maybe
those
y'all were
fancy-
tired of seeing the racing weenie dogs in the background, but I'll put them back on.
That's pretty cool. James Johnson does that all the time.
Yeah, that is a cool background.
Okay,
Well-
seriously, is that okay now?
Seriously, you look good to me.
Hello,
And I'm very
TC.
critical. And Larry, you're like closer than you've ever been.
I know, it's just, I don't know what's happened. It's just all of a sudden came together like this. So, like I said, I'm not changing anything.
Well, don't move.
Hello,
I
TC.
can't see anybody else. I need to see everybody.
You guys got here so early. Kevin got here 3 or 4 hours ago. They didn't need me to open the meeting. You guys started it hours ago.
Well,
Hey,
we've
TC,
been socializing.
Hey, TC, I came on and I've already had it on, and then the doorbell rang because it's my husband's birthday, and I had to go downstairs to answer it. Came back upstairs, and it said that I wasn't connected, so I redid it on the one that you sent rather than the other one. And it said, there's no meeting scheduled. And I'm going, wait a minute, stop. Quit playing with me. So I went back to the one that Kim had sent me. Go figure.
I don't know. I can't.
Well, it tell me I didn't know my email, so we're all on. Hopefully everybody else will be.
I'm gonna wait actually till 3:30 to go through details to give everybody a chance. Sue, I got your email about orders, and I'm actually gonna explain that to you guys. I just don't want to do too much explanation early because people are joining so fast.
Cool.
Judy pointed out to me that we are at a 100 person limit, and we've got way more than that registered. Unfortunately, the efforts I made to fix that don't work because, excuse me, 1 minute. Outside.
The dog is, oops, that's my alarm to remind me you have a meeting today. I have to do that.
Oh, I like the dog, Jerry.
Sorry, just at that moment, they decided to play fight under my feet. We were going to live stream it on YouTube and or Facebook. And I preferred YouTube since so many people don't do Facebook, and had it all set up, and it turns out that it takes 24 hours for them to verify it. So some people aren't going to be able to get in, but I will upload the video. And candidates are welcome to splice out their 3 or 4 minutes if they're happy with themselves and post it wherever they choose. And back to Sue, the question you asked about location. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping detail when we first open up. And then we have an order, and you guys that are already here, I'll tell you, and then I'll repeat myself a couple of times. We're going to go through SDEC candidates first. Then we're going to do presidential electors. Then we're going to do the presidential preference committee, which will go very fast because there's hardly anybody on it. Then we're going to do credentials committee, rules and procedures, resolutions, platform, nominations, and national delegates. I'm going to need help from Judy and other county chairs. I don't want help from Selena, who is a DNC delegate, or Larry, who is a candidate, or Maurice, who is a candidate, because I want it to look fair to everybody. But I'm going to need your help pointing out when people raise their hand, when we kind of do a roll call of who is here on what committee, because if this fills up, I won't see everybody. So that's kind of the housekeeping we're going to talk about. And I'll just introduce each person and preface it with a description of what that position is.
Okay, I am not a host, so I can't mute anybody, but I can talk.
Okay.
You need me to call somebody out.
Well, you can tell me who's not behaving.
It would be me. It will be
gently
me.
do it.
Because I know a lot of people have screensavers and blank screens or permanent screens, so I may not know who's.
Well, you know, you have a lot of teachers on here, so.
Oh, perfect.
Also, TJ, well, one of the things I was going to do is explain what the credentials committee does.
Okay, well, I'm going to give a definition of each committee prior to any of those committee members speaking.
Okay.
And I'm going to, depending on how many candidates show up, you're limited to no more than 3 minutes. I might have to make that shorter if a whole bunch show up. We'll just have to see how it plays out. We'll have to kind of make that decision as time goes on. Also, the national delegates. There are tons of statewide and at large. in some of these positions. I'm going to try to, I'm going to mute myself for a minute. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
I have a question for Zoom people. So I've done Zoom a million times, but tonight with the background I have, it's not showing me at the bottom all my choices. And I want to change to my other and then be able to mute myself and stuff like that. What do I need to be on?
On your left side, there should be a mute button on the very bottom, and there should be a stop video button.
I know, that's what I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing any
really?
of that.
Well, mine didn't show up unless I moved my pointer
Judy.
around.
I've got it
Judy.
at the top, but
Move down at the bottom, see what happens.
yeah, it's on at the bottom and it usually is.
Huh.
I have a switch camera and switch to active speaker in my box with me. I mean, it's no big deal.
Are you on full screen?
Nope, I don't even have that choice.
No,
And I'm
I mean-
afraid to leave because I had too much trouble getting in.
See the participants down below. Do you have that?
No, I've never not had that. I don't today. It's okay. It's no big deal because I'm not running. Praise the Lord.
Look up in the right upper corner. Is there a white arrow type looking box up there?
I have mute, stop video, share content, participants.
Well, that mutes it. That mutes what you were talking about, right? That you
Well,
want to
yeah.
mute.
You know, you have all the choices at the bottom. You can change your background. I mean, it's no big deal. I've never had this, and I'm running a couple Zoom meetings, like 200 people on Monday, and I just hadn't seen this. So I'll figure it out. I'll make Larry practice with me or something.
Well,
Judy.
sometimes it changes because the other day I had a Zoom meeting, and it kept saying, they kept texting me, it meant me trying to get in, and you want to invite me in, and I'm going to invite you, so I never had to go through that either.
Yeah. Okay. It's no big deal.
Judy, if you're running an app versus logged in on your computer, your screen will appear different each time.
Okay. I'm going to try to switch then. I think we have more people on.
Hey, guys.
Pretty good.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good. I'm glad I figured it out. I've missed the last couple meetings because passwords weren't working and all that. So I'm glad I was able to figure it out this time. Looking forward to it. And see a lot of familiar faces. So pretty excited.
I'm not seeing how many are on, and usually I do.
It says 22.
Okay. Thanks.
And somebody's chatting. Hi, Mina.
Hello, sorry. I was just like, oh, let me find the right window to unmute. So too many tabs open, which is probably not good.
Did you sleep there last night? That's the last place I saw you.
Yeah.
Are you actually at HEB or is that just the background?
No, this is just the background. I actually took a picture. So this is the one on 1700 East Palm Valley Boulevard, Round Rock. So it's on 79. And I was just like, I'm gonna make this into a Zoom background, and now here I am.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You look like you're doing very well.
Thank you. Today's husband's birthday, so we've been spoiling him all day.
Oh, how fun. This one's going very well, I think.
Okay, I'm leaving one of them. I'm in on 2.
I lost Larry.
Why? I'm here.
I know your picture's not there all of a sudden.
I see me.
You see me? I don't see you. It just says Larry Yon, big black hole.
There
I
you go.
can't see you either.
Oh, no.
You're not there.
But your name is.
In little teeny tinies.
So thank y'all
Yeah,
for
something's
helping
going
me.
wrong because my
Took away
little
my background.
wheel is twirling up at the top.
Yeah, now I can see everything at the bottom that I'm used to seeing. So I
Oh, good.
guess that made a difference.
And you just became, you're seated lower than where you were. You look like you were in the trees.
Yeah. Those are the weenie dog racing behind me.
Oh, oh, how cute.
Well, one's a one-eyed chihuahua, but that's another story.
There's Larry. Larry's your back. What'd you do?
I don't know.
Us professionals.
There's something going on my computer. I got this weird message that Yahoo Mail has encountered a problem.
You don't even do Yahoo Mail.
Sure I do.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I text you more than I emailed you.
You have a lot. 31, that's good.
Well, I may have to get out of here after our part because it is my husband's birthday and we've got my kids here. Trying to see who else here. Hi, Megan.
Hey, Sue, how are you?
You are the star of our last performance. You were in everybody's video, no matter who was talking. You and your car were in the picture.
Oh dear, that means I didn't mute it. Yeah, I have an 8-year-old that I co-parented with my ex, and I've only spent 6 days with her since March 2. So I got the honor of driving up to Waco when she was driving down from Winsboro to pick up my kids so I could have her for the weekend, which is what I have her for right now. So yeah, so my apologies for that. I probably left it on and I was driving. I had to pull over to the side of the road to do the thing and then get back on the road to get there in time.
Now wait, I was laughing because no matter who was talking, there was Megan. She was driving away or she was in her glove box or she was coming around on the highway, whatever it was always cute. I thought, oh man, talk about taking over.
That's totally embarrassing, Sue. I'm sorry for that.
We hadn't seen you in a long time, so I thought you were just, you know.
Been around doing the national stuff, unfortunately. Or fortunately, trying to get rid of this orange blimp that we have in the White House right now.
Please get it done. We're counting on you. You look good.
Well, thank you. So do you all. It's good to see many of you all's faces. Good to see Larry as well on that finally.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we saw you.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. Anyway, it's good to see you.
You too. I hope everybody is safe, especially after last night's storms. And that had my 8-year-old running through my bedroom at 2 a.m., prodding me in the back, going, "Can I come into bed?" And I was like, "Nope, but I'll come back into yours and get you back to sleep." So.
Well, we had a deluge here. went out, and I have two big, huge planter things that are staked into the ground with big plants on them. And it was got so full of water that it just bent over and it was laying just like that.
Wow.
Practically parallel to the ground. So we had to take one of the heavy ones off, and the other one, it was, anyway, it's just, and all my petunias and things like that were just looking pathetic because I had too much water.
Yeah, we actually had part of a tree down in the front, so
Oh, really?
A couple hours this afternoon getting rid of that. So it's a Bradford pear, so those are not exactly hardy trees. So.
And you said your daughter that was just a baby the last time I saw her, she's 8 now?
She is 8. Yeah, she's 8. Amazing. Talks about space and exploration. She wants to go to Mars at some point. But the only thing she wants to do is know how to make pizza in space. So.
Oh, good Lord. But she doesn't live with you. You said she lives in Dallas?
No, well, my ex took her up to, the family has a ranch up in Winsburg, East Texas. So when COVID hit, she took her up there. So I've seen her for 6 days since March 2.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So this weekend, Thursday, Thursday morning, she said she wondered if I wanted to have her for the weekend. I was like, jumped at the chance. So I got in my car, started driving, and I remembered I had to say something. So I pulled over just shy of Waco to talk to you all.
Oh, that was smart.
Yep.
Well, it is 3:30. I bet you.
It's 3:30 and we're here.
Bells are ringing.
We're at 42 people, and I imagine there'll be a lot more show up. But we're going to go ahead and get started so that we're not on Zoom all day long. I'm T.C. Langford. I am the chair of the Brazos County Democratic Party. This is an idea that was born during Larry Yon and Judy Leunis's SD5 meeting about a month ago. There was conversation that candidates weren't going to have an opportunity to meet and campaign the way they normally do. Like everything we're doing in this, I've never done this before, and none of the candidates have done it this way before, so we're going to be very kind, and hopefully we get through this and everyone does very well. We have 542 delegates in Senate District 5, and today you have an opportunity to meet at least some of the candidates that are running for convention office. I want to recognize we have some party officials here. Judy Leunis is your outgoing SDEC committeewoman. Larry Yon is your outgoing SDEC committeeman. We have Selena Vasquez. I think I'm looking all over my screen for her. And I'm pretty sure she's here. I thought I saw Selena. Selena is your national Democratic delegate. We have some county chairs. I know Maurice Washington is here from Limestone County. Kim Gilby is here from Williamson County. Do we have any other county chairs? Okay. I'm going to ask everybody to keep themselves muted because this is an opportunity just for the candidates to speak. I'm going to ask at this point, Kim and Judy to help me if we need to make head counts or to direct me to who's trying to get my attention. We won't do questions during their presentations. We'll do that at the end if we have time, and how long this lasts somewhat depends on how many candidates appear. At this moment in time, we have 51 people in the room, so we may end up doing just fine. Candidates are limited to 3 minutes each. If this fills up with a bunch more candidates, I may have to start limiting that amount of time as it goes on. Prior to committee candidates speaking, I will give you the state party description of that position, so you don't have to spend your time talking about how the party defines your job. You're gonna get your ballots emailed to you tomorrow. Make sure that you know that you got a new ID number. You got an ID number about 10 days, 2 weeks ago. But a few days ago, you got a new ID number. That ID number is what you need for your ballots to count. What other details do I need to tell you? Because this is about candidates, not me. Okay, I'm going to say this. This was a question that was submitted prior to today, and I think it's an excellent question. If you're a candidate that's running for multiple positions, please include a comment in your presentation about which position you consider most important, which is your preference position. If you had to pick one, what would it be and why would it be that one? I want to let you know that we have lots of caucuses that are meeting, and if you're not paying attention to your emails, you're not getting notices of those caucus meetings. So please make sure you check your spam folders as well. So with that said, I'd like for everybody to mute themselves and stay muted. The order of presentations are going to go like this. We're going to go SDEC candidates, presidential electors, presidential preference committee, credentials committee, rules and procedures, resolutions, platform, nominations, and national delegates. I'm going to tell you first before I call on our SDEC candidates, that position, and Judy can correct me if I misstate this. This is your liaison to the state party. This position is not in charge of state policy or
Rose.
We lost you, TC.
Well, I'll pick up. So you're really working with the county parties and not the internal part of the parties. And you're also helping recruit the best Democratic candidates from each county and our Senate district that you can. And you take what, well, with SD5, we're the only one in the state that has consistently met every 4 months with our county chairs in the different counties, and it's been fantastic. And that's where we hear, other than phone calls and messages, that's where we hear exactly what the concerns are, which most of them are the same with the rural counties. Williamson's a little bit different, as we know, but that's what's Larry and I know what to take to the 4 meetings a year to the Senate SDEC meetings. All right, TC, I filled it in.
okay. With that said, and by the way, our list of women grew significantly last night. I'm gonna take the men first because there's 3 of them, and I'm just gonna do it in alphabetical order. And I think that puts me at Steve Ryan is our first speaker. Steve?
Sorry, I just had to adjust the camera a little. So, hi there. I'm really happy to be here. I'm so excited that TC, Wanda, and our county party got together with Judy and Larry to hold this. I love the opportunity to be able to talk to you. So I'm Steve Ryan, and I'm running to be your Senate or your State Democratic Executive Committeeman for Senate District 5. I spent most of my adult life lobbying on behalf of funding for junior colleges at the state capitol, visiting the state capitol during the time when we were fighting for marriage, gender equality. I've worked for numerous Democratic campaigns, most recently with Rick Kennedy, which allowed me to see the 6 of the 10 counties that overlay with our Senate district. And already at the time I was thinking, man, what can I do to help these people? What can I do to help build enthusiasm? Because one thing I heard the most was, there's a Democratic Party here. And so we need to increase that visibility. We need to show folks that we're here. And my ways of doing that are through youth engagement. And by engaging youth through social media, through attending events, creating events that will bring the youth to them, we can start to bring more in. 20% of our delegates are members of the Youth Caucus. And we have 3 major universities and 2 major community college systems. We should have huge Young Democrats groups. There are young people in our rural counties. There are young Latinos and African Americans who don't know that they can be a part of the process because we're not really present to them. And by reaching out to these folks, we can inspire the next generation of Democrats to take action and step up in their community. We especially need to reach out to our Latino and African American communities. And speaking to delegates across the district, what I've heard the most is we feel like we're not listened to. Candidates come here and tell us, oh yeah, we're gonna work with you, but they don't come back. That's not gonna be me. I wanna be there every day. I wanna help the community. I wanna do what I can to find leaders like Diane Thompson, who describes to me that what the community needs most is people who can help them in raising their voice and showing the issues to the people who are asking them for their vote. Within our Latino communities are amazing talents like Selena Vasquez, who can rise up and represent an entire district, not just segmented to where folks live. And that can set a huge example for our huge growing Latino population, which is already the plurality here in Texas. So without a community presence, without social media presence, we're completely invisible. Okay? And when we're invisible, nobody knows we're around. And so we have these Democrats who feel isolated in their rural communities. And they surrounded by Trump voters, and their father, their mother are Republicans, all their friends are, and they feel alone. But we can reach out to them, because without presence, we are invisible. But by reaching out to these people, being in their communities, we can show them that we're here, we're united, and we are indivisible. So I appreciate your time, and I hope when you go to select your Senate District 5 committeeman, you'll select Steve Ryan.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have William Struck in the room? No?
Yes. Yes. Hi.
Oh, hi. Okay. William Struck, everyone.
Sure. First, thanks very much for the opportunity to speak to you today. My name is William Struck, though most people do call me Bill. And I wanted to take a moment here just to explain why I'm running for SDEC. I also, since you asked, I was recently asked to run for Credentials Committee by some of the other delegates, and so I put my name on there. I don't really want to, not going to really talk more about that, but yeah. What Steve said, honestly, is spot on. This is all about building the party, driving the future of the party, engaging with the chairs in the counties, and ensuring that we have the best people running so that we can win elections. Driving voter turnout is critical. Williamson County, I think, had one of the best voter turnouts in the state, and that's largely due to Kim and the efforts of the party here. But honestly, I've only lived here for 3.5 years. I'm not from Williamson County. I know that seems to be the tagline a lot of people go with, like, you know, I've lived here forever, et cetera, but that's not who I am. I want to explain a little bit about where I come from, because I think that'll help with the context here about how I can represent you best. Before I moved here, I lived in a rural county in Ohio called Licking County, where I lived for many years with my family. I had not planned to ever move to Texas, although I would not dream of going anywhere else now. Before I lived in Ohio, I actually lived in southern New Jersey, where I grew up. I think when you think of New Jersey, you probably think of Manhattan. Most people think highways and trains, et cetera. Where I lived was an area dotted with small to medium-sized towns and surrounded by farms. I actually had a cornfield right behind my house for many years until the local school in my district was condemned and they turned the cornfield into the new school. I didn't have a lot. I had free and reduced price lunch. My family never really had good food, or we didn't have new clothes. And I'm not saying this because I want anybody to feel bad or anything. I'm not saying I had it worse than anybody else, but I've had to claw my way out of poverty and work hard, like not harder than anybody else. Mostly I've just been lucky, but I can appreciate, I think, what it's like to not have and not be able to provide for yourselves. Because of what I've lived through, I really can't rest or relax with where I am now. I know that without a government that fights for us, without social programs to provide healthcare, nutrition, and education to everyone, that all of the prosperity that we have is just a temporary illusion. Today, I'm an engineering manager at one of the most successful tech companies in the world. I work for Apple, and I run most of the global data analytics platform. I'm 36 years old. I've been employed in tech since I was 14. I've had 14 years of leadership experience where I've followed politics since my youth. I've been engaged in politics my entire adult life, although I've moved around a little bit. I'm here today because I want to represent all of us at the state party and ensure that we're not only doing everything possible to win the elections, but I need to know that there's integrity, leadership, and good decision-making in Austin. I'm young, I'm motivated, and I have an intuitive understanding of the technology that drives our daily lives. I've learned over many years how to work through bureaucracy in a very large distributed organization and how to build consensus while negotiating with a diverse group of people with disparate opinions and backgrounds. If you elect me, all right, is that it? All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And next we have Maurice Washington. Maurice, I know you're here.
Yes, I'm here. I just had to unmute button. Good morning, everybody. I should say good evening, everybody, or afternoon. My name is Maurice Washington. I'm the newly elected county chair for Limestone County. It's really nice to see that there are good candidates that are running. I really am proud to be a part of this process. Thank you very much for inviting me. Also want to thank Larry and Judy for their efforts up to this point, because I mean, I really can't tell you how much I hated to see you guys announce that you are not coming back again. But time moves on, and you guys are moving on to bigger and better things. That's great. But I just want to let you know that you guys will be sorely missed, and you've done a fantastic job in getting the word to us and listening to our concerns and taking those concerns back to the TDP. So. About me, my name is Maurice Washington. I'm actually originally from Texas. I joined military at age 19, served my country for 22 years, retired in Florida, was involved with the Democratic Party down there in Florida as a precinct captain, knocking on doors and passing out flyers and things like that. Since I've come back to Texas 4 years ago, I've been really deeply involved in the county. I've been actually building the party, actually doing fundraisers, knocking on doors. We've actually helped put out signs and campaigning with Rick, Meg, and Mary Ann. Also our local candidates. We've actually recruited our local candidates also, and that's something that I just do. I'm not going to do it, I already do it. So whether I win or lose, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, because I think that what I'm doing is actually a positive thing. And I really do want to make the party better. I want to turn Texas blue. I mean, I want to turn it blue. I want every one of our counties to be successful. I am so glad that we've actually gotten people over in Freestone and Leon and those counties, because it's really important that people know that we're here. I've actually had several outreach programs to the African American community where we build alliances with the NAACP here locally. I continue to work on getting the young people out. I've had several meetings with the young people in the county. We recruited a young man to run for the city of Mahale. So I'm just saying to you that what I'm about is actually building the party. I've been doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that. And it's really something that's just kind of second nature to me. While I was in the military, one of the things I did was, and again, I want you to imagine a world without the internet and without satellite TV and things like that. Trying to get people registered to vote in the Navy overseas, and trying to get information on candidates, which was kind of it was kind of like pulling teeth, is what it was basically boiled down to. But anyway, the bottom line is that if you elect me, I will do the job. I will help build the party, and I'll work my ass off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maurice. I appreciate it. Thank you. Next up, we have the women on the ballot, and we have 6 women. I'm not sure, I don't know all of these women, so I don't know if they're present in the room or not. So we're just gonna do a roll call, alphabetical order. First up, we have Joanne Anderson. Joanne, are you present? I'm getting a no. Next up, we have Sarah Groff. Sarah, are you here?
I am here. Thank you so much. I'm Sarah Groff, and I'm running for SDEC Committeewoman for Senate District 5, and I'm here to ask for your vote. I've lived in Wilco for 20 years, but I've also lived in South Texas and rural Texas, so I appreciate the challenges rural communities face when organizing. I'm running because I believe accessibility and transparency should be the backbone of our party, and I also believe serving on the SDEC is about being a conduit of information to and from the state party. When elected, I pledge to continue the county chair quarterly meetings, identify and leverage statewide resources to build the county parties at SD5, support a 254 county strategy to turn Texas blue, and ensure that each of our county's voices is heard at the policy table of the state party. I currently work as district director for Representative John Busey and am the chair of the Cedar Park Planning and Zoning Commission. I was the volunteer coordinator for the 2018 Wilco Dems coordinated campaign, and there I managed a large group of volunteers, facilitated all the trainings for phone banks and block walks, and worked with party technology to reach voters. I have professional experience in project management, so I understand the importance of strategic organizing and targeted communication. I've also volunteered on many Democratic campaigns. I'm proud to be endorsed by our outgoing committeewoman, Judy Leunis. She knows the work it takes to get this job done, and I'm grateful for her support. While I live in Wilco, I promise to be present and available in every county. I will work to help expand your party's presence. I'm ready to serve SD5 in the shared goals of our 10 counties. I also look forward to amplifying your voice with the state party. I hope I can earn your vote, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Next up, we have Blair Mays. Blair, are we here? Blair? I'm taking that as a no. Next up, we have, if I can read my, well, I have glasses on, might as well use them. Kay Moore. Kay, are you here? I take that as a no. Jaquetta Thayer, are you here? No on Jaquetta Thayer. And Meg Walsh, I'm quite certain is here.
She's here.
I'm here. How y'all doing? Hold on, I have a timer, so I'm gonna let it rip here.
That's okay, I'll give you the 30 seconds.
Thank you. Okay, so first of all, howdy Democrats, how are y'all doing? I am so excited to be here, and who is ready to gig the vote and turn Texas blue? All right, me too. Woohoo! It's kind of hard to do this when nobody responds. Anyways, first of all, thank you, TC. Thank you, Brazos County Democrats, for having me here. I'm excited to be here. I have a lot of experience of years of service. I was the 2008 Volunteer of the Year Award in Wilco for my work with hundreds of survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence. Along with that, I've been very active in the Democratic Party, which led me to the 2018 election, where I ran for State Senate District 5. As many of you know, I was everywhere because it was not just about me in terms of winning my office. It was about helping every candidate, every county up and down the ballot. Maurice and I, we just reminisced this week about us walking in 106-degree weather. And let me tell you, there was a lot of jumping in and out of cars to get through that day. As the SD5 committee chairwoman, two of my goals is accessibility and inclusion. One of the things we need to do is give all candidates, all counties the same access to the same information and resources. One of the things I would like to do is work with the counties and set up Facebook pages and call it the Ninja Facebook pages, like a ninja group. So people that need help with block walking, that need help with filing for being a candidate, that need help training within their district, that need help with anything, even going to the convention, that we could have a list of ninjas within the district to help all these folks get to their resources. So I'm looking forward to hearing everyone, finding out what's important. I have actively campaigned across the district. I was out there in the hot heat with Selena Vasquez, in her area, and again, everywhere else. Along with that, I would like to use my experience testifying before the state ledge to be a voice for the district. I'd like to close with all of my endorsements. I was endorsed by Terry Cook, County Commissioner Wilco, Irma Cawley, County Commissioner, Brazos County, Marianne Arnold, candidate SD12, Stephanie Colton, founder, Brazos County Young Dems, and Glenna, who is still grumpy, my opponent in the 28 primary. I'm excited to be working with you, and I will be here. And let's turn Texas blue. Let's gig the vote. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Meg. That concludes our SDEC candidates. Next up are our presidential electors. And briefly, what a presidential elector does, everybody has to argue and debate whether we should have an electoral college. And in fact, that's what presidential electors are. They will convene in Austin. The people on this committee will convene in Austin after the election in November, and they will cast the electoral votes on behalf of the state of Texas. And I have my list here, if you'll give me 1 second. We have I'm sorry, I apologize for my delay. Okay, in alphabetical order, we have Victor Jesus Garcia. Are you in the house? I do not hear from Victor. Next up, we have Flavius Harkrider. Are you in the house? I do not hear. Next, we have Barbara Lazard Hernandez. Are you here? And that would be a no. Larry, you may have been at the bottom of the list, but you're our featured speaker for presidential electors.
Thank you, TC. I appreciate very much the opportunity to be with you today and to speak. Let me begin by thanking each of the people who are on this Zoom call and thank them for being delegates to our state convention. You know, delegates have responsibilities, such as choosing the leaders of our party. But one of the positions you elect has the power to actually change the direction of our nation. For all of my life, I've worked to elect Democrats in 4 counties of our state, in countless local and statewide campaigns, and in every national election, I've always voted for the Democratic nominee. My name is Larry Yawn, and I'm asking for your vote to represent you in the Electoral College. But I will only be able to cast that vote if the people of Texas turn our state blue in November. So really, my pitch is not about me. Rather, it is to recruit you to be the catalyst that sparks the grassroots in your county, to be the volunteer whose phone logs more miles than you could by block walking, to be the supporter who finds new ways to communicate on behalf of our campaigns while it's so difficult to communicate at all, and to be the defender of constitutional democracy, of decency in office, and the rule of law. The best thing you can do for my candidacy is to deliver a Texas victory for the nominee of our party for president. This is a difficult time. The soul of our nation is actually at stake. Let's use every day between this convention and November the 3rd to make sure that the founding principles of our nation that were written in our Constitution are ignited and burned brightly again. They've been dimmed in the past 4 years. We need to restore democracy in this nation. Thank you, Senate District 5. I hope I can earn your vote.
Thank you so much, Larry. Next up, we have what's called presidential preference. And I will thank Judy and Larry for explaining to me today what this is, because I did not understand. The Presidential Preference Committee, and please correct me when I say this wrong, the Presidential Preference Committee is the committee that tallies all the Sanders, Biden, and Warren votes, and according to gender and race and other considerations, figures out what delegates will attend the national convention, and not what delegates by name, but what categories. In other words, will there be 5 Bidens that are Hispanic and 5 that are women and 5 that are men? They will create those categories based upon the demographics that they've been given. That's my understanding, and if I see Judy nodding, so thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will now go in alphabetical order. We have 8. Yes, we have 8 candidates. The first one is Samantha Davis. Samantha Davis, are you in the house? No. Luby is in the house. I saw you earlier. Are you not? Lubomir Lichon, and I know I said I was terrible with your name, and please forgive me.
Here I am.
Okay.
Well, I'm new to the process, so I'm going to have to rely on a lot of experience in guiding me how to proceed with this and helping pick the people that will apply themselves to each candidate. I'm a hard worker. I'm retired, so I got plenty of time. My goal is to turn this state blue. It sickens me to see the Trump signs everywhere I turn. I've got family here and a granddaughter that I want her to have a state and a country that she can be proud of, and feel that she's represented equitably and properly. So I look forward to helping in this process. And again, I'm gonna ask for a lot of help from some of you that I've met, and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Luby. Next up, we have Kenneth Kraus, and Ken, I'm pretty sure I saw you here earlier, did I not? Kenneth.
I'm here, but I'm running as a national delegate, and so I'd rather defer and talk to that.
Would you rather wait?
Yes.
Okay. Do me a favor, if I make a mess of all of my different charts, and please remind me that we went past you on this round. All right, next up we have, and I apologize in advance for all the names that I mispronounced. I apologize. Charlotta Oidacom. Charlotta Oidacom. Not here. Next up, we have Zach Webb. This is a good time for me to mention. Zach Webb contacted me several days ago as being involved in some Democratic Party stuff and what was the possibility of going out of order. And I actually gave several people permission that they could go out of order, that I understand that conflicts happen and I don't want to deny people the opportunity to speak. So she may or may not come in later. I just don't know, but there might be several people popping in at odd times that we're going to allow to speak. Next up, I've got Josh Wilkinson. Josh, are you here? Well, that makes me sad. Josh is from Bryan. Cody Williams. Cody, are you here? That's a yes, that's a no. Okay. And Savion Wright. Is Savion Wright here? Nope. Well, you had the whole floor for yourself then. Okay, I better get prepared in advance next time. Better. Next up, we have the Credentials Committee. I'm going to tell you what the Credentials Committee does, according to the state party. It is the job of the Credentials Committee to be sure each convention attendee is a qualified participant and is assigned to the correct precinct. In order to be eligible, a person must be a Democratic voter who resides in the jurisdiction where the convention is being held and has either voted in the Democratic primary or signs an oath of affiliation with the Democratic Party and has not voted in another party's primary or convention or supported a candidate of another party. In presidential years, the Credentials Committee might also be called upon to resolve disputes between presidential caucuses within a precinct caucus. The Credentials Committee report certifying both the delegates in attendance and the precincts in attendance is the first report delivered to the convention. And the people who are vying to be on the Credentials Committee that are not statewide candidates, we'll discuss statewide at the end, are in alphabetical order, Sue Duncan.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I am Sue Duncan, and I have served the last several years on the state Credentials Committee. So I feel like I'm exactly qualified for this year's unusual meeting that's going to be Zoomed or virtually done, however we get it done, because it's something that you don't need to go into in a learning curve. Primarily, we focus on hearing from these local delegates who feel that they've got challenges because they've not been appropriately elected. We listen intently and resolve any status changes or challenges that come before us. We look at their qualifications, we check out their competence and even their authenticity, and whether they're really authorized to bring this before us. One thing I need to say that prior to this meeting, this is a group of all of us that are representing every one of our districts. So there's 31 of us around a big table when we meet in person. And the state chair of Credentials, which this year is Maudie Peters, she's the one who, or he is the one who chairs and gets the select numbers of people. They might be 4 or 5. I don't know how many usually they have, but they go over all the data. They correct any mistake, like who has entered twice, what name is misspelled, what name doesn't match, all those things. And our job is just strictly listen to the locals who are present and give a challenge, and then we turn around and we resolve those issues. And either they are seated or they're not. So with that, I appreciate your vote. I'm Sue Duncan. Thank you. TC, we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I'm telling everybody to mute themselves, and I didn't unmute me. I need you, if you recently joined, please mute yourself. There is a little microphone in the corner of your screen that has your photo in it. Please mute. Next up, we have, I'm sorry, I was reading ahead in the book. Next up, we have Barbara Lazard Hernandez, and I called her earlier and I don't think she responded. And William Struck, you are up.
Hi, I went for SDEC earlier, so I don't think you wanted me to talk again just about credentials.
Okay, I do want to let everyone know that William has a very cute baby. I would also like everybody to know that William Struck is a candidate for the Credentials Committee.
Thanks. Also, I think Zach is here now, if you wanted to have him go.
We can back up a little bit. Is Zach here? Have you arrived?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm trying to get a. say something so that you will show up on my.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here's since you weren't here before, and I already told everybody that you had permission to jump in and out because you were in meetings. You're a candidate for several offices, and the question that was posted initially prior to us convening was, if you are running for multiple offices, please identify your preference of what you consider most important to you and why. And with that, you have 3 minutes. We're allocating each candidate 3 minutes to talk. So please go.
Sorry, my other class is talking too loud and I can't mute it. Well, anyway, I have actually withdrawn from a lot of the races. The races that I'm currently still on the ballot for is the Rules Committee, as well as the National Delegate Male Bernie Sanders spot, as well as the Presidential Preference Delegate Recommendation Committee for Senator Sanders, and eligible for the at-large position. But of course, there's some weird math there that I'd get to. So I would, if I were to rank them, I would say Rules, then the other two are pretty much need to go together. I guess I'll just explain that real quick. I have met a couple of other great national delegate candidates, some of which have ended up supporting me. And I want to try to get as many of them from our district into the delegation as possible. And part of that is to be on the committee to select the at-large people. But I wouldn't be able to select myself, and I would also like to be a delegate. So I'm hoping to earn your support as their district level delegate. But if you don't want to vote for me for that, then don't vote for me here either, please. Anyway, just about me. My name's Zach Webb. I'm 34 years old. I live in Liberty Hill, and I've lived in Senate District 5 for nearly all my life, through till adulthood, and a year at Southwestern, and off and on since then. I would like to be your Senate District 5 male Bernie Pledge national delegate because I've been working in progressive politics for the past 5 years, including on staff on both of Bernie's campaigns, running operations for Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, New York, California, West Virginia, Kentucky, blah, blah, blah. And in the recent one, doing national operations. But I've also worked down ballot for congressional candidates like Julie Oliver and Mike Siegel, Derek Crow. And I would have worked for Dr. Mann had it not been for the virus, hopefully. And Justice of the Peace and other local candidates. I think it's important to pay attention up and down the ballot. I've also been elected to a number of positions within Our Revolution, the kind of Sanders-inspired spinoff organizing group, including the delegation that attempted to develop strong bylaws and code of conduct. I was on the working group that did the grievance policy and code of conduct. I'm running for Rules Committee, like I mentioned, because I want to help get the work done and just put my rules lawyery brain to work. I explain a lot of board games to my friends. And I've been working with the past couple of weeks with former Bernie staffers. Oh my, former Bernie and Our Revolution staffers to coordinate our Bernie delegates statewide. Through our efforts, we managed to get Bernie people on 50 more state ballots within the state than that were previously didn't have Bernie people in them. So I have a record of doing the work, the nitty-gritty work, the hard work, and I want to keep doing it for you at the DNC. Reach out to me. I've been talking to a lot of people statewide and explaining convention procedures to newbies. So reach out with any questions. I love to meet all of you if I can. And thank you very much. I hope to earn your support.
Thank you so much, Zach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was actually a good segue into our next group. First, let me ask, are there any statewide candidates for Credentials Committee that are present here that would like to speak? No? Okay, good. Then we're moving into Rules. Rules Committee, as Zach explained, he's running for Rules Committee. So is Mitchell Allen. Is Mitchell Allen present?
Yes, I've withdrawn from Rules Committee and I'm only running for Resolutions Committee.
Okay, thank you very much for letting us know. What I get from that is Zach is our only SD5 person running for Rules Committee. Do we have any at-large or statewide candidates running for Rules Committee? Speak up now. All right, we're moving on to resolutions. In Resolutions Committee, we have, speaking of Mitchell Allen, Mitchell, I'm sorry, I've already forgotten what you said. Are you running for resolutions?
Yes, ma'am. I'm running for Resolutions Committee.
Everybody, this is Mitchell Allen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitchell Allen. I'm running for Resolutions Committee in Senate District 5. I'm a college student at Texas A&M University. And what I believe is that the Resolutions Committee is important to outlining the principles of the party. And I believe that we have a very hard election coming up in this November. And as somebody who would be on the Resolutions Committee, my goal would be to support and help write resolutions that would support the ideas and principles that young people fought for in this 2020 primary election. Things like universal health care, fighting for a sustainable environment, an immigration system that is welcoming, supporting higher education, criminal justice reform. These are all things that are going to be essential to getting young people mobilized this November so that we can carry Joe Biden to the White House in the fall. I hope that as somebody on the Resolutions Committee, I will be able to bridge the gap between young people and a lot of the voters who feel disconnected, or bridge the gap between the party and a lot of young voters who feel disconnected from politics in general, in order to get those people mobilized and out to vote. So I would really appreciate your vote this convention this coming weekend, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Mitchell.
TC, you're muted.
Too many moving targets. Thank you, Mitchell. Are you in the room, Nancy Shepherd Alderman? You are not. So therefore, we are moving on to our platform committee. We actually have quite a few folks that have signed up for the platform committee. I apologize. First of all, do we have any at-large or statewide candidates for the resolutions committee? No. Moving on. Platform committee. We have Nancy Shepherd Alderman has already not been here. How about Kevin Coonigan? I know Kevin's here. Kevin?
I'm here.
There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Coonigan.
Hello. I am also running for national delegate and DNC member, and I believe that my priority would be national delegate, so I'll try and make this particular speech pretty snappy. I'm on board with what Mitchell Allen said, but and the resolution and platform committee both have a significant amount of overlap in terms of intent. I think that we really need to push hard in terms of having platform planks that will engage the people who need help and who are not traditionally engaged in the Democratic Party, and get them enthusiastic about coming out to vote. And this is especially important during the current COVID pandemic, where people need more help and need the Democratic Party standing up for them more than ever. And so I would hope to be a strong voice for all the people in need right now on the platform committee. And I would also hope to be a strong voice for the younger people who are not always feeling like they're currently engaged with by the Democratic Party at the moment.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Denise Gordon. Denise, are you here?
I am here. Thank you very much, TC. And hello to all of the SD5 delegates. It's nice to see familiar faces and some new faces I don't know at all. TC, thanks for providing this opportunity for us all to speak. Folks, my name is Denise Gordon, and I'm asking you to vote for me to serve SD5 on the platform committee. I am very active in the Williamson County Democratic Party, serving on the Wilco Dems Executive Committee meeting as the 300 Precincts Cal or Commission Area Leader and as the Precinct Chair for Precinct 332. I also serve on several subcommittees for the Williamson County's Democratic Party. Locally, I'm the chair of both the Round Rock Democrats and the Central Texas Democratic Veterans. And statewide, I'm the chair of the Texas Democratic Veterans, for all you veterans like Maurice. I represent the Texas Democratic Veterans as a non-statutory member on the State Democratic Executive Committee, which means I have a voice, but am sometimes unable to vote on statutory issues. In preparation for this Texas Democratic Convention, the chair of the Texas Democratic Party appointed me to serve on the Texas Democratic Party's temporary platform committee. And we meet in preparation for the elected committee members platform meeting, which is what I'm running for as a platform to be elected to the official platform committee. We are working in numerous subcommittees this entire past week to condense the current 49-page Texas Democratic Party platform into a more user-friendly, concise document, which means I've read the entire 49 pages of the platform, and I'm working on numerous subcommittees. I'm asking for your vote to represent SD5 on the elected platform committee to continue working on revising our platform. It's very long now, it's very complicated, and there are a lot of different special interest groups who want to make sure that they are represented. We want this to be a document that everyone can read and understand and doesn't put you to sleep as you're trying to get through it. So that's the goal of the platform committee, both now as a temporary group and when we actually meet when elected. So please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Denise, which reminds me, see, I'm the only one that makes all the mistakes around here. I promised you that I would read a description of each committee prior to introducing the members, and I absolutely have not done that, and I apologize. If anybody is very, very interested, please go to Texas Democratic Convention and check off on the menu delegates, and there is an actual description printed there.
TC, if I may interrupt for just a second, there was a question from—
Oh, Denise, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, from one of the delegates about how many people you get to vote for. And when we're talking about the committees, you get to choose one, not one male and female, but just one.
Okay. And we're going to address all the questions at the end. I want to give everybody a chance to talk first and make sure that they can. Next up, Barbara Lazard Hernandez. Have you joined us yet? No. Kay Moore, have you joined us? And then Catherine Square, have you joined us? I'm getting no. Next up, we have the nominations committee. And the nominations committee, if I recall correctly, from, oh, I'm sorry. Are there any statewide or at-large folks in the room for the platform committee? We're moving on to the nominations committee, and if I recall correctly, way too many pieces of paper here. I got one person, and that one person is Kim Gilby. And Kim, would you like to introduce yourself to maybe the one person in the room that doesn't know who you are.
Thank you, TC. And I will be quick since I don't have anyone running against me. But I do want to thank you and Wanda and all of the Brazos County Democrats for putting this together today, because it's so hard on all of us not to be together. So this is the next best thing. Hello, Senate District 5 delegates. I do want to assure Larry Yawn of one thing, that I know my fellow county chairs here in SD5 and the other 9 counties and myself, we're all determined to elect Democrats up and down the ballot here in Texas in November, even if we all have to crawl across a field of broken glass. So you can count on that. I've been active in Texas politics since we moved here in 2011. Before that, I worked on campaigns in Virginia and Tennessee. I was a neighborhood team leader for Battleground Texas. I'm a founding member of the Democratic Women in Wilco and the Western Wilco Dems Club, where I served as chair. I served as precinct chair in Wilco, secretary, and I am starting my 2nd term as county chair. And what the party nominations, the nominations committee for party officers does, it compiles several convention reports, but most importantly, it makes recommendations for members to serve on the Democratic National Committee. And, you know, I believe that my leadership experience in the different levels of our party and my institutional knowledge of party operations, and especially the relationships I've built with other counties and within the Senate district and at the state and national levels of our party, makes me the right choice. I can promise you that I will work with the other committee members to identify the candidates who will fight for our shared values and build our party. This is a crucial time in the history of our country, and we must choose DNC members who will move our party forward in 2020 and beyond. And as that committee member for our SD5, I will do just that. Thanks for letting me talk, TC.
Thank you so much, Kim. If anyone is in the room is a candidate for any office besides national delegate, and I have not called upon you, please raise your hand and make a lot of noise, and we will get you to a microphone. With that, we are going to move on to national delegates. National delegates is a very large pool of people, and we're going to start with our own Justice of the Peace and our own DNC delegate, who I believe she is running from the Hispanic caucus, and that would be Selena Vasquez.
There we go. Thank you, TC. Good afternoon, everyone. Y buenas tardes. I know it's been a long afternoon, so I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. My name is Selena Vasquez. I am running for re-election to be your Democratic National Committee woman in the Hispanic Caucus. It's my job to help turn out the vote, the Latino vote specifically, in the whole state of Texas. For the last 4 years, my colleague, State Senator Jose Rodriguez from El Paso, have worked up and down the state from El Paso to Dallas to East Texas to Tyler to help turn out the Latino vote. Professionally, I was a teacher at our community colleges at Blinn College before I was elected Justice of the Peace 2 years ago. I'm really proud of the coalition that we built here in Brazos County with the Young Dems of Bryan College Station, with African-American women, with Latinos, and with military veterans to help run the first coordinated campaign in my precinct, Precinct 4, in over a decade. And we can do this. We can do this together. I'm not going to preach to the choir. Everybody here wants to turn our state blue. We're only going to do it if we work together in unity. And the Latino vote is crucial. I'm bilingual. I'm bicultural. I'm passionate about getting our young people involved. This afternoon, I'm here humbly asking for your support and your vote in the Hispanic Caucus. You must identify as a Latino. in order to be able to vote in our DNC election. You can vote for me on Thursday, May 28th through May 30th by electronic ballot. I kept my promise. We did not have Latinas elected to Congress when I ran in 2016, but 2 years ago, we elected the first 2 Latinas to Congress, Veronica Escobar from El Paso, in addition to former State Senator Sylvia Garcia, they're both the first Latinas elected to Congress from the Lone Star State. I was a part of those efforts, and also part of the efforts to make sure that Latinas are running for down ballot races, because we can't stop at the top. We must continue to vote all the way down the ballot. And again, the only way we're gonna do it is with a multiracial coalition. And I'm a proud Latina. I represent my community well. And I'm excited to also now serve in elected office as a Brazos County Justice of the Peace. So muchísimas gracias, and I humbly ask for your support and your vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Selena. Next up, I think we'll go to Ken Kraus. I believe you're a national delegate. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Let's go to Ken Kraus next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenos tardes. My name is Ken Kraus. I'm 67 years young, and I am a lifelong Democrat, starting out with the Kids for Kennedy in 1968 as a candidate currently running for SD5 national delegate representing Joe Biden. Please let me tell you just a little bit about myself. Nowadays, I live in Sun City, Texas, located just north of Austin. And in many ways, Sun City, Texas is a Democrat's worst nightmare. That is, it's a retirement community filled with lots of rich old white people who mostly just want to play golf, watch Fox News, and dream up new conspiracies about Joe Biden. But I prefer to work as a one-man Democratic missionary to the unreached masses of Sun City. And by coming alongside my neighbors, one person at a time, I try to spread the gospel of immigration reform, empowering workers, healthcare improvement, and ending gun violence. And by attending the 2020 Democratic National Convention, I hope to share with my fellow Democrats some ideas that I have about winning over disaffected Republicans. Likewise, I hope to learn some new information about Joe Biden and Democratic solutions for many of the problems that affect senior citizens everywhere. Thanks for this opportunity. Bottom line, I'm just an ordinary guy, and I'm humbly asking for your support so that I can serve as a national delegate for SD5 representing Joe Biden. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Ken. Now, I knew those 2 folks. I do not know who else is running for delegate because we have a list about a mile long. Oh, Kevin, you're running, correct? Okay, next up is Kevin Coonigan.
Correct. Just one sec while I pull up my.
Kevin, are you running?
I am running for national delegate, also representing, also in the Joe Biden basket. I am 34 years old and I reside in College Station, Texas. I was more or less born here and grew up here. I am a data scientist and economist focusing mostly on transportation issues, but with some forays into other things like biostatistics. So I like to think that I can learn pretty quickly how to apply my various skills to a new topic. This is my first time being involved in the state convention, but I have also, in the course of learning how to get myself involved in the state convention, worked with a number of other people around the country who know even less about the process than I do, and gotten them involved in gotten them to also become delegates to their own state conventions. The amount of new enthusiasm and interest in getting involved with the inner workings of the among all these young people across the country has been remarkable, and I think that this is a really crucial element in getting young people to be enthusiastic about the Democratic Party is engaging them in the process. So, despite my inexperience, I would very much like to be elected as a national delegate, supporting Joe Biden at the national convention this year.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Do we have any other candidates for national delegate in the room? Oh, Mina Davis?
Yes.
Please, everyone, Mina Davis.
All right, let me get my timer started. Okay, here we go. Hi, so my name is Mina Davis, and it's an absolute delight to also speak to this group. The reason that I chose to run in 2020 for national delegate for Senator Sanders is I had the opportunity to go in 2016 after caucusing with my dad in the same caucus. Granted, this was for Nebraska, but I can tell you with my experience being a national delegate, that doesn't just mean going to the convention and expressing your feelings. It also means standing in a room full of Democrats and coming together and pledging that, you know, we will take in our hard work and we will fight for turning Texas blue and also making sure that everybody else's voice is heard. So a little bit about who I am. My day job, if I were if I'm fully employed, would be a data scientist, but got laid off due to COVID. As you can see, my background is in HEB. I do grocery delivery right now, and it pays the bills. And I think that a lot of national delegates, the last time I went, we were a very diverse set, and I hope to keep that up, whether it be socioeconomic, racial, other identities, and that's something that's important to know. And I think we're very fortunate as a party to have, because we can't say the same for our counterparts. For me, as far as my work in the party goes, so I was definitely very, very involved. I went to college in Nebraska, so Creighton University. I'm a Blue Jay, not a Cornhusker, although I do know you can say what the I'm like, I get it. We were associated. And I was the college president of our Young Dems there, which at a Jesuit college can be a very, very hard fight, but we were very loud and proud of what we did. Especially when we helped in 2008, when I was much younger, I helped that with the efforts to flip our only electoral vote for Obama, and they changed the boundaries, so it's much more difficult. Currently here in the state of Texas, I'm involved with the Texas Young Democrats as their rural policy director, the deputy membership director. I'm also currently the deputy chief of staff for the Young Democrats of America, so that's our nationwide organization. Locally, I am on the board of the East Wilco Boys and Girls Club, as well as the Austin Community College Regional Advisory Committee. So I have community commitments along with political commitments too. So for me, the most important reason I want to ensure that I'm back there at the national stage is that the work does continue, and especially for someone who is 27 years old, I know that there is a long, long fight ahead of me, but it was very, very exciting and awesome to be able to work with people across the country since 2016 to ensure that, you know, if we were upset at a particular part of the process, that we got involved. And that, you know, I taught people, because I'm a debate coach as well, I've been for 12 years at this point, I taught people how to work in terms of conflict resolution and to really get with their other people who have different perspectives. And I think this will be a very unique convention, because I really want people to come together. And I think that what Senator Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden have done with a lot of the unity committees is something that I want to be part of again. So I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mina. And I want to ask you, and I want to ask Ken and Kevin. Selena was very clear that she's running on behalf of the Hispanic Caucus. I'd like to know if you're running as an at-large candidate or if you are affiliated with a caucus.
So for that, I'm not affiliated with a caucus. I am running for just the SD5 and then I believe at-large as well.
Okay. And Kevin?
I am not entirely clear on whether I am running for a caucus. I am running for both SD5 and at large. So to the best of my knowledge, I am on unaffiliated, but the application process was a little bit unclear on whether I was signing up to participate in the caucus or signing up to run as a part of the caucus.
I understand. There's a learning curve for all of us here.
TC?
Yes.
We have two other candidates that haven't been able to speak.
Yes, I know.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you were seeing the notes. And Kevin, you are running as at large.
We're gonna have, okay. I'm just wondering if Ken is still in the room, if he would like to identify.
Yes, I'm right here.
Are you running at large or through?
I'm running as SD5 delegate for Biden, and I'm also running at large.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, everybody. Next up, we have Megan Stabler.
Hey everyone, sorry, I just had to unmute myself. My name is Megan Stabler, and I'm also asking for your vote as National Delegate for Texas SD5 and the honor of representing you and your voice at the DNC convention. I know that change only happens when people with big ideas and the courage to get them done step forward. To bring a better future forward for everyone is something that I've been committed to for many decades. With all this happening at the national level, it's easy to become tired and dispirited. Too often it feels like our politics must be broken, so broken that we can no longer do big things. But this isn't the time for us sitting on the sidelines, and I personally never have. In January 2020, DNC Chairman Tom Perez appointed me to the DNC Platform Committee. I also have the experience, the passion, and the background to be your voice. I'm a proud parent with two wonderful girls, a tech executive, and have been a resident in SD5 for the past 18 years. I've built and grown relationships in democratic politics at both the local, state, and national levels. As your voice for democratic principles of inclusivity, I have actively campaigned and phone banked for local and statewide candidates and testified both locally and in Congress for many causes, ranging from marriage equality, the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, women's choice and access to reproductive health care, equal pay, reforming our criminal justice system, minimum wage increase, and much more. I'm currently a member of the National Board of Directors for Planned Parenthood and have previously served for 8 years on the board as a board member for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, 8 years as a National Board of Director for the Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest LGBTQ civil rights organization, 8 years as a member of President Obama's National LGBTQ Advisory Committee, and 4 years on Aetna Healthcare's advisory board. I was also a national delegate for SD5 in 2012. We must meet the goodness of our people with the government that sees and hears all of us, including those of us that reside in Brazos County, from Bryan and College Station to Steep Hollow and Reliance, and to act decisively to make sure that all of our neighbors have the opportunities that they need. I'd be honored to have your vote as a national delegate for SD5 representing Joe Biden to ensure that we vote in the best candidate nominee for president of this great United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Robin Durton. Please welcome Robin Durton and David Burdick. You're on deck.
Hi, everybody. My name is Robin Durton. I am running for the Senator Sanders position in SD5. I'm also running at large. And as an elected official, I am the precinct chair for Precinct 135 in Williamson County. I'm also the co-chair, current co-chair, even though we haven't met in quite some time, for our revolution here in Williamson County, which is one of the longest running our revolution chapters in the nation. I believe we started before our revolution was a thing. So I've held events here in my home for Senator Sanders, and my precinct went for Senator Sanders both in 2016 and in 2020, and I actually voted for Senator Sanders both in 2016 and in 2020. And as a uninsured person during a global pandemic, I really want to make sure that we push for stuff like Medicare for all. I still go to work every single day. We have clients come to the office. I work for a CPA, and so I work with people who have the means to have traveled, and many of them come in boasting how they went and got a haircut or they went out to eat at a restaurant somewhere. And so every day that I sit in my office, I am at risk. And it's very disheartening when so many people are classified as essential workers, but they were always essential workers. Every single day, they have been essential workers, and they should be paid as such. We have always undervalued our workers, even at McDonald's and grocery stores and everything, and they should be paid better. And I have recently found my voice over the last few years, and I intend to use that to make sure that the platform that I believe in is supported, and I will always speak out for injustices. And that's why I'm running as a delegate for Senator Sanders. And I would appreciate your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robin. Next up, we have David Burdick, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay.
First thing I'd like to do is thank you, TC, for running the Zoom meeting. I can tell you firsthand that Zoom meetings with 70 plus people can be very difficult, and so I appreciate your work today. My name's David Burdick. I am a school teacher and a coach here in Williamson County in Cedar Park, Texas. I've been a U.S. history teacher for 20 years, and so politics has always been part of my life. I grew up, both of my parents were teachers, and so being part of a teacher household and teachers unions, I've been a Democrat since I registered to vote in 1988. Voted for Democratic candidate every year, and have constantly and consistently spoken on behalf of teachers, on behalf of labor unions, on behalf of people. I'm a father. I've got 2 children and a husband, and I think as a candidate for national delegate, the whole idea is that we're going to go there and we're going to represent you. And I think I do a great job of representing the people in District 5. I'm running as a national delegate in District 5 or at large. Again, this has been part of my life for going on 30 years. And again, I appreciate the people in this meeting that have sat on committees and gone through and done the hard work, the monotony, the difficult work of organizing and the structure. That's a lot of the hard stuff. I think that the national delegate is more of a glorified position where you go and you speak about the platform, you represent the people in this meeting, and I think I could do a really good job of that. So I appreciate your time listening to me today. I appreciate this meeting one more time, and I would appreciate your vote. Thanks.
Thank you, David. Next up, Mitchell Allen. And before I announce Mitchell to join us, I just want to comment that we've been here about an hour and 15 minutes or so, and y'all's patience and interest is so commendable and encouraging. And I truly appreciate these candidates that I've had to make wait till the very, very end of this. So next up, we now have Mitchell Allen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mitchell Allen. I'm running for national delegate for Bernie Sanders at large. Like I said earlier, I'm a student at A&M, Gig'em. I'm studying history there, and I plan to go to law school afterwards and pursue a degree in immigration, or to pursue a career in immigration law. I've been a Democrat my entire political active life. I would say that would be my sophomore, freshman year of high school, I started getting active in politics. I volunteered for Beto O'Rourke's Senate campaign in 2018, and I volunteered for some other candidates running in the midterms on a local level near my hometown in Jefferson County in Beaumont. I volunteered for Bernie Sanders in 2020, and as your national delegate, as our Bernie Sanders national delegate, I would hope to speak about the issues at the DNC that he fought his campaign fighting for, things like Medicare for All, Green New Deal, a more fair immigration system, free public four-year education, and trade school education. Those are the things that are really important to me and really important to other young people across the country who fought really hard for Bernie's campaign in this primary. And I'm really thankful for this opportunity to speak to everybody here, and really thankful for TC for supporting or for hosting this and taking the time to let everybody speak here. So I would really appreciate your vote this coming or during the convention as I run for at-large delegate and for resolutions committee as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mitchell. Do we have any other candidates in the House that we have not had an opportunity to hear speak? Then I'm going to take this as an end of a very informative day, and I so appreciate it.
Sorry about that. I am a candidate for Bernie male national delegate.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how I missed you. Ryan Coleman, what are you running for?
I am running for male slot SD5 Bernie national delegate.
Okay, Ryan, please talk to us.
Okay, thank you. Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Coleman. I'm 19, so this will be my first presidential election as a voter. And the reason I made the jump first into activism, block walking in and out of state for Medicare for All and a Green New Deal, and then after that to running for national delegate pledge to Bernie Sanders, is because I realized that what we're talking about doing, flipping Texas, fighting injustice and corruption on a national level, securing, a progressive future for our country, and really trying to affect any change relies on bringing in young people into the political process more than ever before. I support Bernie because I believe humans have a set of fundamental rights, the right to health care, a clean environment, to a fair political process, and these days, these rights aren't just being ignored, but challenged, especially by the current administration. I'm not just asking for your vote because I believe I'd be a good representative of our district's progressive wing, because I'm confident that the other candidates for national delegate are also great representatives of SD5's progressives. The real question, and the one the state delegates have to answer, is which aspect of the progressive movement, our district, and the future we seek will represent you at Milwaukee. As a 19-year-old environmental activist, canvasser, and organizer for Bernie and climate reform, I want to be a part of the wave of progressives in my generation becoming more involved than ever before to affect real, tangible change. That's why I ask for your vote. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Call out. Do we have any more candidates in the room? Okay, I want to remind everybody, check your email, check your spam. You're getting ballots tomorrow. There are different deadlines for each office. Know that some of those deadlines are 24 hours later, so don't play games and say I'll get to it later and then forget. I would like to ask if any of our national, state, or Senate district or county leadership have any comments they would like to make before we adjourn.
I do, real quick. So this is Mina again from Williamson County. In the interest of Texas Young Dems, I want to say that I'm so happy to see a lot of younger people get involved. Some of us, are new to the process, some of us are not, but if you are not or have not considered or weren't aware that there was a statewide organization for Young Democrats, of which our category is 40 and under. So if you turn 41, I'm sorry, you're not able to be part of that. 40 and under, you should definitely look us up. And if you spoke about working with young people, I have either reached out to you or plan on doing so, because it's important to make sure that we're all engaged across. And I'm really, really happy to see this energy. Even though I can't physically see it, I can feel it.
Thank you, Mina. I want to respond to one of the questions in the chat bar, and that is, yes, this will be available. We have recorded it, and I will post it as soon as that recording is complete. As everybody who has become Zoom worthy knows, there's a little bit of a time lag. We were going to live stream this on our YouTube channel, and that became an option too late because there's a 24-hour lag time between the time you sign up for live stream through Zoom on YouTube and the time that they will activate. So tomorrow, you can find it on our YouTube channel. Contact your county chair. I'll send the link to all the county chairs. They actually have the link. There's just nothing there right now. And we'll also put it on the activist group page, and we'll put it on the party page. We will make this recording available to everyone as soon as this recording is available. It just won't be on YouTube until tomorrow. So,
TC.
Larry, anything?
Yeah, very briefly, let me thank you. Judy and I, at the outset of realizing that this was going to be a virtual convention, wrestled with the issues of how do we communicate to the 500 people who are going to be delegates from Senate District 5. And we chose to brief the county chairs and to put it in their hands to make sure that communication occurred. And I've got to tell you that I am very pleased to see the types of things that have occurred in Senate District 5. It simply proves the fact that our county chairs are the workhorses of our Senate district. They are the ones who get things accomplished. They are the ones who will see that this Senate district is a blue Senate district. And so we are very, very appreciative of that you all did it. I will pass along one other bit of information, and that is the fact that the National Convention has not yet been declared, but it certainly looks as if they're planning for a virtual type of convention. So it may be that all of you will be consultants to them on how to pull it off. Thank you, TC, for doing it.
My pleasure.
Yes, and TC, I just want to thank everybody. I have loved my 6 years with you all. I see so many of my Wilco friends on here, and then my county chairs. This has been a great experience. I'm moving on. I will stay involved, but I'm moving on politically to do some other things, and I'm very excited about it. And as soon as I figure this all out, I will be glad to announce that. But I can't thank you enough. And then the precinct chairs, I know we have some on here, but I've loved going around and meeting everybody at the different county meetings monthly and all of that. And I know our new SDEC people will continue to do a good job and make it even better. But anyway, thank you so much. And I love all of y'all. I really do. And your dogs. So thanks a lot.
Thank you both very much. We will miss you. We're excited and looking forward to who's coming in. Well, we are. I'm not. I'm going to be gone in August, but
yes, yeah. TC,
everybody else is.
Yep, everybody keeps giving.
Recognize Wanda Watson, the incoming chair for Brazos County.
Right. Everybody keeps giving me credit for this. I'm the hopefully the wind behind, but I'm not necessarily under her wings. But TC truly has been driving this. Judy, Larry, they have been driving this. I still got my training wheels on. And so I hope that when TC steps down in August, that I'll be able to carry this. And if not, I know people who hopefully can help me be equally successful, because if we're having to be virtual, guys, we've got to do the rah-rah. Judy talks about that. She calls it the rah-rah. And so we've got to gin up the excitement virtually. And I encourage you, if you're out and about and you're masked up, when you're out and about trying to do what you can do to turn this state blue, we need all of y'all, and all of y'all need, it's kind of like playing tag. As you meet people and interact, we've got to work so hard to turn this state blue and to turn, to get, who out of office, because it's going to be a bruising fight going into the fall. So TC, thank you for doing this. Guys, we're going to need all of y'all going forward to get us through November 3rd, 2020. The fight is on, guys, and we need all of y'all support, not only as you go forward for the conventions, but also for what you do in your communities. So thank you, TC. And guys, I look forward to continuing to work with you all.
Thank you, Wanda. And last thing before we leave, I want you to know that I understand that the delegate lists and the committee lists, all those lists that are posted to the convention website are kind of unwieldy when you're not voting for all those thousands of people. I have separated out and downloaded onto Word documents the candidates that affect you. I've downloaded and put into Word documents the SD5 candidates, the at-large candidates, and the statewide candidates, so that they're manageable 5 or 6 page documents, and it has the same information. My email address is brazislawyer@gmail.com. brazislawyer@gmail.com. Easy, easy. Just shoot me an email and ask for those lists, and I'm happy to attach them and send them. I won't get chatty and talk with you about them, but I will attach them and send them to you. So with that, I declare this meeting adjourned, and thank you all so very, very much for coming.